I've brought back all your little friends from the very beginning when we had the Husky and the Dalek and the Turtle, to King Thyroid and Batheart, to Master Chief and Doom Guy, and one new friend for you guys today. This is Little Big Planet Man. I know, he's adorable as he looks. And lastly, couldn't forget the Sour Patch Man. As this is the last week, I thought I would bring them all back for you guys. And I wanted to have a big surprise for you, but it won't show up on the camera, so you don't know. But my hair is bright purple. It's like violet, which is like kind of showing up blue, which is not at all the color it is. It's very distressing. I worked so hard on that. I was so excited. The camera won't even pick it up. Anyway, today we're learning Pythagorean theorem, but not with the hypotenuse missing. So that's what we did last week. So this week, we're going to take right triangles, but instead of having this guy missing, which is C or the hypotenuse, what we're going to be missing is we're missing one of the legs, A or B. Okay? So let's make these nice and friendly to start out with. We'll do 3 and 5. So C in this case is 5, and A in this case is 3. So we're going to go put this into Pythagorean theorem, which hopefully you were all familiar with by now, is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay? So I'm going to take a, which is 3, and replace a with 3. 3 squared. I'll leave b squared alone because we have no idea what's there. And then c squared is 5, so we're going to say 5 squared there. I guess c is 5, sorry. C squared is not 5. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to do the squares. So, 3 squared is... it's 9, for anybody wondering. 5 squared is 25, not 10. Don't do 10, please don't. Okay, now, when we did equations, a very important thing that we had to do each time was we had to isolate the variable we're solving for. In this case, I want to know b. Okay? So I need to isolate b. So to do that, I'm going to get rid of my 9. So what I do to one side, I have to do the other. This is a positive 9, so I need to subtract 9 from both sides. That becomes a 0 pair. And we're left with b squared equals 16. Okay? And the newest thing added to our equations is taking the square root of both sides. I want to know what b equals. You'll notice that these don't have squares on them. That's not a mistake. Okay? They're just the single, just base. So I need to know what b is, not what b squared is. To do that, we don't want to knock you guys off. Gotta take the square root of both sides. So the square root cancels out that square. You have b equals, and then the square root of 16. Give you a second to think through, look it up, your choice. It is 4. B equals 4, which means you can fill this in. B equals 4, which is nice. It's a 3, 4, 5. This is what we call one of those perfect square right triangles, the perfect rights, because nothing here is a decimal. I'm going to show you what happens if we do end up with a decimal. So let's do this one again. And then you get to practice this on Prodigy for the whole rest of the week. I know, I'm sure you're all super thrilled about that one. It's not the whole rest of the week, it's only 15 questions. Should be super easy way to end out 8th grade. Normally you'd be taking tests this week, so I know, think about that. No tests, no major projects due. We're not trying to cram all of chapter 10 into 1 week. See? This is a blessing in disguise. In this case, let's say C equals, I'm making this up, so don't try to look into it more, 10. And let's look for A this time. Say B equals, something nice, we'll do 8. Okay. So, we go over here. And, wait. I just inadvertently did a perfect right triangle again. You know what, we'll do this one and then we'll do another one. So it'll be a little bit of a longer video, I apologize. we take a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we put b, 8 in for b, so a squared equals 8 squared. And then 10 in for c, 10 squared. Sorry, my ginormous hair is blocking this. I can't believe it doesn't look purple on camera. Oh, so sad. Anyway, now we gotta do our squares. So we have a squared plus 8 squared. You can do that in a calculator. Some of you might know that by heart, 8 squared is 64. Really, just knowing after your first 10 of the perfect squares is a good thing to know by heart. It'll help you through high school. Trust me. And then 10 times 10, so 10 squared is 100. And you guys really ought to know this one already. So now what we're going to do is we are going to subtract the thing that's keeping a from being by itself, which in this case is 64. Subtract that from both sides. We're left with a squared equals 36. Then we take the square root of both sides. That leaves just the base a, because that's all I want. And then the square root of 36 is, drumroll, 6. You see, that was an accident. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Now we're going to do one more. Now this one, I promise, is not going to be nice. Gotta think for a second, make sure I don't do something again that's nice. I can't do that one because I will turn out nice. What can I do? That one shouldn't turn out nice. Shouldn't being the key word. Okay, let's try this again. But in this case, we're going to have BB4. BB4, get it? Never mind. Could have been BB8. No. Okay. Whew, sorry. A squared is nothing in this case again. So we're just going to leave it as a squared. Okay. B squared is going to be 4 squared. And c squared is going to remain 10 squared because I'm lazy and I didn't want to change it. So first things first, we're going to find our squares again. So a squared plus 16, that's 4 times 4, and we already know this one's 100. So with really, these get quite repetitive. Once you've done one, you basically know how to do all of them. We're going to subtract 16 now from both sides. That becomes a 0 pair. A squared equals whatever 100 minus 16 is, which happens to be 84. Okay. I only know that because you subtract 10 from 100, that's 90, subtract 6, that's 4, so 84. You're unblocking the number. 84, okay? Now we do what we've done with all the other ones. We end with taking the square root of both sides. That cancels out, and a equals the square root of 84. Okay, so we're kind of refreshed last week. Instead of doing this on a calculator, we'll do it on a calculator second. We are going to do it in our head first. So if you still have a list of perfect squares pulled up, or if you've got them memorized at this point, hopefully, I'm running out of room here. Can you see this? Will I put that up here? Kind of. Okay, we'll be tiny over here. 84 lies between the square root of 81 and the square root of 100. Okay. We already... Oh no, it's too far over. Square root of 100. There you go. Okay. We know that 100 is 10, right? So this one, if we're going down 1, is going to have to be 9. Okay, it's kind of how it works. You're always one in between. I'm going to step over here. You're 1 in between. So we know that 84 can't be any bigger than 10 and no less than 9, so it's going to be a 9 point something. No! Sorry, Benjamin. Okay. Sorry. This is 3 away. This is 16 away. Which one's closer? 81. 9 is closer, which means that's actually a lot closer. So I'm actually going to estimate this at about 9.1. Remember from last week, if it is closer to the bigger number, so in this case 10, it would be above 0.5. If it's closer to the smaller number, it's below 0.5. Okay? And in case you're wondering if the sides of my head are shaved, yes, they are. All I gotta say for that is if you are cutting your own hair, make sure that you choose the correct guard before actually cutting your hair. Anyway. Okay, so according to this, my estimate A should be about 9.1. So now, we're gonna test that one out. This is the fun part. I always really love doing this. Go to your calculator. Okay, remember that you need to turn off auto lock. If your auto lock is still on, then it won't be able to do this. Okay? You're looking for it to rotate and turn into a scientific calculator. If you already have a scientific calculator, sorry about that, then you don't need to do anything with it. But if your phone, like iPhones and Samsung, I believe, they have to rotate. So they get bigger. Anyway, we're going to take 84. Oh no. And then we're going to take the square root. So, see this 2 square root x? You're going to click on that. And it turns out that the square root of 84 is 9.651538991168. So we actually did really great, guys, with our estimate of 9.1. Right? I mean, we could have gotten a little closer probably with 9.2, but we did really great. Good job, guys. We did awesome. That's what I would say if you were here. And I miss you guys so much. I hope you guys miss me too. Anyway, that's the only video for this lesson, so have fun. Tomorrow's lesson at the very end, there's a special surprise for Mr. Field and me, so please watch all the way to the end, or at least skip all the slides and just watch the very end. Bye. See you tomorrow.